Hello, during my travels around the Kama Sutra Temples in Khajaroa, I met someone who gave some really fascinating reasons behind the temples, why they were created, history. So you gotta check it out. It's really pretty interesting. Now, before I get into all that, down below there is a link where I'm giving away a free video-based guide all about tools that are very handy when it comes to traveling places. So it's very helpful, as well as a video guide that really simplifies supplements and dietary supplements. So enjoy this video, and if you do like it, please hit the thumbs up button. Enjoy.
That a lot of temples were destroyed by Muslims, and this is one of the temples that survived.
A lot of them were destroyed by Muslims. Others were just abandoned, and people came and cockroached them. The stones were building materials, and the bricks were building materials.
Well, I can't believe people would do that, but I guess it happens. I mean, I also heard English too. I think in the Taj Mahal, isn't it the English?
The British, yeah. It had a gold railing that they took, and it had a lot of jewels, diamonds, and emeralds, and all that incrusted in it. They took them away for safekeeping. So somebody was going to take them. So they
Whether they put them back or not?
No, they didn't. They kept them.
They kept them, huh?
Yeah, they kept a whole lot of them. But a lot of this reconstruction is from, the British Archaeological Survey is what did the ones that did the reconstruction.
And you've been studying this for a long time, huh? You said?
Oh yeah.
30 years or?
Since mid-70s.
Mid-70s, huh? I mean, coming to India, studying the temple?
35 years.
Wow.
40 years, actually.
40 years.
So if you look closely, you'll see a lot of stuff that doesn't really belong, and lots of stuff that is put in odd places or not in place at all. Things that they didn't know what to do with, they just stuck in the outer, the base, the foundation of this, they just stuck out there. But if you look at the little niches that those sculptures are in, those are all newly carved and stuck in place. This is an old one, and those are all new ones.
And people who come here to worship, I mean, one of the gods in Hindu, is that right? Or, because there's like 800 gods.
This is Shiva.
Or something. Shiva.
Yeah, this is Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva.
Oh, I see.
Shiva is in the center, so he's the most important one here. And this is him just killing an elephant demon.
Elephant demon, huh?
See that elephant head over right at the top of him?
You talking about the top one?
No, the middle one.
Oh, the middle one,
The biggest one. So, you know that's Shiva because, well, for a lot of reasons, but one of them is his bull, not the bull, that's his mount. And his many arms and his wrathful posture means that he's in a demon-destroying mood, and that shape up above his head, you look right at, he's got these tall dreadlocks that are all piled up.
Yeah, it looks like a crown on his head.
He's got matted locks, he's got dreadlocks because he's an ascetic.
Yeah, dreadlocks.
They're all piled up like a phallic shape because it indicates how much potency he's stored up by his celibacy and all that. That's why he's so powerful. And
he doesn't have sex, huh?
Yeah. And then right up above the top of his head is the skin of a flayed elephant in there. You can see the trunk and the ear of the elephant there.
Yeah, up right above his dreadlocks, it looks like an elephant.
Dreadlock, that's the head of the elephant, and then the curving thing, the curving scooped out face is the skin of the elephant. So it's an elephant, a demon that took the form of an elephant, and he's destroying.
Wow.
But he's the biggest one, and he's in the central position, and Brahma down here and Vishnu are subordinated. So Brahma is smaller, Vishnu is up there, and then Garuda, which is his bird mount. So the temple, there's a lot of sectarian rivalry in ancient Hinduism. So the Shiva temples don't deny the other gods, they simply subordinate them. So he's the most important one, and these other two, Brahma and Vishnu, are.
So what's with all the lovemaking, just out of curiosity? I mean, this is the only temple with Kama Sutra and lovemaking.
This isn't really Kama Sutra, that's what these tour guides will want to tell you, but this is about if you look outside, this is basically the same thing as outside, only in smaller scale. This is the inner sanctum. This band here, all of this lower part is horizontal like this.
Yeah.
This horizontal stuff is saying earth. you know, that's flat like the earth.
Yeah.
And you have these things raising up, those are the heavens. And these are, all this is about war. About war and conflict in the material world.
Material, conflict, and war. This is all...
And then up here are celestial realms, and these are different levels of the celestial realm with various gods and goddesses and heavenly musicians and what we in English would call angels.
Yes.
Angels, but angels in Indian tradition they're like very sensuous beings they are just enjoying the pleasures of the afterlife.
Sure.
They get to enjoy these pleasures for a while, and then they have to come back to this realm of conflict.
Oh, wow, that's interesting, huh?
So even the gods, they're not eternal.
No.
They may, you know, I think Brahma lives for 311 trillion years, but then he passes away and he's got to be born again. But dude, if you live an extraordinarily good life, you can rise up and eventually become a Brahma or a Vishnu or a Shiva or something like that.
Oh yeah, I guess. And then in Hinduism, that was the word moksha, right?
Moksha is liberation from the whole thing.
Life and death, and correct me if I'm wrong, but to reach moksha, you have to become religiously, very spiritually. You have to amass a amount of wealth.
Yeah, moksha you have to stop the mind.
Stop the mind?
Yeah. Still the mind. You have to completely still the mind and leave the body and leave you have to have no appetite for this world anymore. You become indifferent to this world, and you have to then become indifferent to these pleasures. These pleasures of the afterlife are far more pleasurable and attractive than this world.
Yeah, with the war and conflict.
These pleasures of the afterlife bind you to this world as much as anything.
Huh.
So this is not liberation. This is just R&R. This world is considered to be the nastiest part of the whole creation. The hardest and most difficult, most challenging place of conflict, and one thing eats another and everything is in conflict, and then you get to enjoy a brief period of pleasure and rest and enjoyment in one of these various heavens. So this particular temple is the heaven of Shiva, which is Kailasa, and this is his mountain.
That's fascinating. Then of course there's reincarnation, right?
Yeah, so you get to enjoy based on your karma. So you got so many good karmas, so many bad karmas. Your karmas are mostly good, then you get to enjoy some, and if you've been focusing on Shiva, then you get to enjoy some time in his celestial realm.
Before you go back.
Celestial realm, or in Vishnu has another celestial realm called Vaikuntha. There are millions of heavens.
Oh wow.
These are the main ones, and they're places of repose and enjoyment. There's no conflict in this
realm.
It's all
pleasure,
love and pleasure and peace and repose and relaxation. And they're just abiding there. They're just enjoying themselves, and before they get reborn.
Huh. And that's interesting, man. Reborn into another creature or whatever, right? Depending on karma.
If they're in heavenly realms, they'll probably come back as a human.
I see.
They'll almost certainly come back as a human. Because if your karmas are mostly nasty,
you'll be an insect or something.
And you're angry and you're frustrated and you're pissed off and you're a bitter old man, then the afterlife is going to be the same thing, only much more intense. So hell is a mental state in Hinduism. So you're already, and in Buddhism, we're already facing heaven and hell in this life to some degree. If you're generally positive and happy and upbeat and enjoying life and all that, you're generally in the, heaven, experiencing a more heavenly, although this world is a kind of hell in Hinduism, but you're experiencing the more heavenly side of this world. If you're angry and frustrated and bitter and you're pissed off about how things are and you're, cranky and all that, then you're already experiencing a mental hell.
Yeah.
And in the afterlife, it's going to be the same thing, only much more intense. So these are people who are
had a good life.
They're generally positive, and they're experiencing the afterlife in a much more intense level of pleasure.
Wow. That's fascinating.
But this is a cycle, and this is not going to the experience of these heavens is not liberation. Liberation only comes when you become indifferent to all of this. And you become indifferent to all of this when you're able to still the mind. And in Zen they say moon in water, meaning that the mind is like a pool of water. And if it's agitated, you can't see the truth. If you look in a running stream, you can't see your reflection of yourself. You can't see the moon in it. You can't see any truth in the water when it's rippling. You still the mind, and it becomes like a mirror and it reflects reality as it really is. And what you see in the moon and water, if you still the mind, then you see that the moon is one. And you see that reality is one. And you see that light is in everything. And you then are in a position to be able to escape from the world.
Makes sense, yeah. I mean, definitely.
But if you just want pleasures in heaven, then you come to the temple and you do puja. You go do, make gifts to the temple, you make gifts to make temples, you do various kinds of deeds with an aim to gain pleasurable and
Wow. Yeah, I had nothing more really to add to that or say. You think you said it all, man, right there. It's a good speech.
tradition. Yeah.
Wow.
Thousands of years of refinement into all of this.
Imagine the effort that someone put into this, you know. I mean,
I think this temple was, I think they say it was built in about 25 or 30 years.
you know how long ago do you think it was built? Any guesses or?
Middle of the 11th century. I think from around 10 something or other up until about 1050 in that period.
Huh.
It was about the same time, actually before the Gothic temples. They were doing Romanesque temples in Europe at that time. It was the same time with the Chinese Song dynasty of China.
Oh, well, thank you very much, man.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you for that bit of wisdom.